Recently I came across a list of things that all atheists must believe by someone called Once Forgiven, Now Free. It's always so helpful in being told how I think about things. So let's jump right in.
Atheists believe many things. They might not realize it, but they have faith. Here are 5 things that atheists believe. Number 1. Atheists believe that hydrogen is a colorless, odorless, tasteless gas which, given 10 billion years or so, can turn into dinosaurs, spaceships, and humans.
Okay, I have to admit, technically he's correct.
You are technically correct. The best kind of correct.
Hydrogen is one of the most common elements, since it is very simple, consisting only of a single proton and single electron. Like how books can be considered to be made up of trees, all elements can be said to be once have been hydrogen. Aha, I hear you call out. People have to process the trees into books. So who processed the hydrogen into other elements? Well, that would actually be a natural process known as gravity. I'm getting into chemistry, astronomy, and nuclear physics. Not exactly my forte, but here goes. When enough hydrogen gathers together, their gravity compresses it into a star. The nuclear furnace changes the hydrogen atoms into heavier elements using the electrons and protons from the hydrogen. When the star finally goes supernova, it can spread those elements across the galaxy. We are truly made of star stuff.
Number 2. Nothing created everything. This one is important to them because if they admit that something created everything, then they're really agnostic.
We don't know what caused the universe to begin, but there is no compelling evidence that it was an intelligent creator that caused it. Our universe could be an endless flow of big bangs and big crunches, as the universe continually expands and contracts, or one of almost infinite number of multiverses, or something we haven't even thought of yet. We don't know, and maybe we never will. In that sense, I am both an atheist and an agnostic. I have no belief in a creator god, nor any evidence or knowledge of one.
Which brings us to number 3. Nothing is something that takes up space, has physical properties, and is governed by natural law. This includes physical space teeming with energy and magnetism, governed by natural law.
I don't even know where to go with this one. What does that even mean? Nothing is a concept, just the absence of physical elements. The only properties and laws it could have is how physical elements could react within it. And since there is nothing to react with, the closest we can come to studying nothing would be studying the reactions of elements in a vacuum, the absence of other particles to interfere with said elements.
Number 4. Atheists believe that good and evil don't exist. They are merely illusions fobbed on us by our genes. According to them, there is no good, no evil, nothing but blind, pitiless indifference.
Good and evil are, as I've pointed out in earlier videos, just concepts that we human beings apply to actions caused by others. If something goes against our own personal moral code, we call that evil. And if it goes with our own personal morals, we call that good. So, if you want to convince me that some action is wrong, you cannot use the that is good or that is evil arguments because my morals and yours may be different. To convince me that something is wrong, explain to me the consequences of that action and how it will affect others. That will convince me something is good or bad. Oh, and nice quote mining of Dawkins there. His quote from River Out of Eden was commenting on the fact that the universe itself doesn't appear to care about anything, and there is no rhyme or reason to how some people are lucky and some aren't. The full quote is, the universe we observe has precisely the properties we should expect if there is, at bottom, no design, no purpose, no evil, and no good. Nothing but blind, pitiless indifference. Which, to your credit, you put in the comments, but didn't think it was necessary to put in the video. The apparent indifference inherent in the universe is what has been observed, not a judgment call against morality that once forgiven seems to imply.
And number 5, atheists believe that their brain was not intelligently designed. I won't comment on that one.
Again, yes, I do believe that. You are technically correct.
The best kind of correct.
It is very telling that he won't comment on this here. I had to follow a link in his descriptions to another video he made to get some kind of understanding of it. It basically goes, if the brain was not intelligently designed, it may not work properly. You would have no reason to trust your own thoughts. I've heard others use this argument as well, extrapolating it to, if we thought of evolution with our inferior mind, evolution can't be true. In other words, if evolution is true, evolution can't be true. He is right. I don't believe our brains were intelligently designed. The best evidence says that our brains are the process of natural selection. But here's the thing about natural selection. The things that work and are needed are the things that get passed on. Humans are not the strongest, fastest, or hardiest beings out there. In every physical category we've been outclassed. The only way we survived was by being the most intelligent, figuring out tools and and ways to work with our environment for our own survival. Our smarter ancestors, the one who had brains that were better developed, had a better chance of survival than those that did not have as well-developed brains. And being able to figure out how things worked would be a better survival trait than not being able to figure them out, or figuring them out incorrectly. We've taken this ability to figure out how things work beyond their mere survival in order to give us the best explanations of the natural world, things like evolution. True, sometimes things that seem intuitively correct turn out to be wrong. The sun moving across the sky, for example. And our brain's penchant for seeing patterns causes us to often see design where random events have occurred. That is what the scientific process is for, to weed out, by evidence and experimentation, what can be proven correct and incorrect without simply intuitively guessing. After all that, he never got around to what an atheist's beliefs actually are. So here it is. We simply do not believe a God exists. That's it, and has been said many times, that is not a belief, but a lack of one. I do believe in lots of things. That my wife and son love me. That I have some of the best friends in the world. That waffles are better than pancakes. But I just don't have any belief that the universe was created by some ineffable, intelligent creator being, and that was one thing that every atheist shares.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world.